And welcome back to Under Center with Kirk Cousins, Mark Rosen, along with our special guest, Anthony Harris, who had a huge impact on the Vikings' opening win against the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk, I'll let you take it and run with it here.
We're just thrilled to have Anthony here on the show. Welcome, Anthony.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. I just think so highly of you as a player and a person, so it was an easy decision of who to have on the show today. We appreciate you taking the time. But with the game you had yesterday, just take us through some of the thoughts. Did you sense that you were due for a big day? What were you thinking going into week one of your fourth year?
I was really excited going in, knowing I get the opportunity to start, be full-time. I really worked hard, try to put in preparation during the week, really study up on their scheme, know our defense pretty well and how they were going to attack us. But I talked to Eric Kendricks during the week because I had a lot of family come in town. And he said, you got 6 people in town? Due for a big game. So he kind of called it.
I like that. You picked the right game with all the family in town. That's awesome. And I've been going against you all offseason. So we had 15 weeks now, Mark, of us going against each other. And I didn't feel like he really gave me anything. I mean, I didn't feel like we could beat him up or get a matchup with him where we were exploiting him. So I felt good going into the game, and everybody on the team after the game being asked about your play just spoke so highly of you and feel like you really deserve, to have a huge year this year. And you've shown it. It's no surprise to anybody who's been seeing it. So we're so happy for you and for what you brought to the team yesterday.
Did you, when you're studying Atlanta, I mean, you're thinking about the Atlanta Falcons the entire preseason. Did you focus in on what Matty Ryan's challenges were going to be for you?
No, I really just focused on, what they like to do offensively. Some of the route concepts. I try to watch a good amount of film, get a flow of, the play calling, what types of plays that the different coaches like to get in different situations. And just get a feel of, where he wants to go the ball. We knew Julio was going to be a big target for him. But then I try to take a look at, what's his next option.
Now, the first interception, was that you jumping the route? In terms of what happened on the first one?
That was just something I just fell into and had a good feel. I was actually had a tight end man. He flashed across, so I flashed back with him, tried to keep my eye on the tight end just in case he kicked the end out and I'd have to fill inside for the run. But once I saw him blocking the defensive end and knew it was pass, I knew I wouldn't have time to add in on the rush, so I decided to, try to read the quarterback's eyes, and I felt the route coming in behind me and just sunk back and tried to elevate.
Wow. That's great.
Let's take a listen to Paul Allen's call in KFAN on Anthony Harris's first interception.
He's back to pass, loops one over the middle, and it's intercepted! Is it? Yes, it is! It is Anthony Harris with the interception at the 40-yard line, and this Sunday, this season-opening Sunday, absolutely is colored in purple.
You gotta love PA's energy.
Yeah, you do. I mean, Julio just signs the big contract, and you're stealing his football away from him right away. Then 24 hours later, Anthony.
I loved it. How about the fumble recovery? How close was that? I'm watching. I thought you had it, but then you see the offensive lineman come in at the last second. You always wonder at the bottom of a pile what happens. Maybe you could tell us what really happened at the bottom of that pile.
It was really getting hectic. All day I just been trying to fly around, get to the ball. The guys did a good job of getting the ball out. Saw the ball on the ground, thought about scooping and scoring. Saw a couple of hands in there, so I decided to fall on it. Had great possession of it. They tried to get in on it late, and it was a scuffle for a while. You hear Purple has it, we have it. I hear somebody go, Eric has it. So I'm like, okay, I can't see who I'm fighting with, so I think I'm fighting with Eric. The ref says purple ball, so I let the ball go. I get up, and I realized the Atlanta guy had the ball. But I was like, I clear recover. So, they decided to rule that, I had possession before, everybody came in on the pile and had secured. So
I felt that took points off the board for Atlanta because they were in field goal range, and if at minimum 3 points, maybe more. And so that was, again, a huge play.
After the penalty, first down and 5, and the ball is loose. And it looks like Minnesota's come away with a football. Waiting officially. It's our ball, and you be the judge.
Now, the interception in the end zone, again, a huge play in the game. I believe it was 21-0 at the time. If they score 7 there, let's say, it's 21-7, it's a 2-score game, changes the whole fourth quarter. There were still 3 minutes left in the third quarter, so it changes the whole deal. probably a little bit of a gift from Matt Ryan there, but at the same time, he had nowhere to go with the football because you were in great coverage. Now, talk a little bit about your eyes on the goal line, how you have to be able to see the ball, see the handoff, fill your gap, stop the run, can't even give up 2, 3, 4 yards, otherwise it's a touchdown.
Yep. At
the same time, keep another eye on your man to cover him, which you did. Talk about how hard that can be.
Yeah, going into it, they get down there to the goal line, and we just thinking, we got to keep them out. We got to hold them. So for me, it was just about having good eyes, being out there on the edge, knowing my responsibility. They gave run away, so I'm thinking, there's no way I'm making a play. For me, it's just keep my eyes on the tight end in case they have a little pop pass. And sure enough, they did. Tight end flashes up. I get my eyes on him, get my eyes back to the quarterback, and I see he's running 70. I don't know if he gave up on the route or not, but he throws it. And then I'm thinking he's throwing it away, and then I think to myself, I got a chance to go get this ball. So he left it in the play, I think, as if he was throwing it away, but I went up and tried to get the little toe tap.
Yeah, amazing the toe tap. You get 2 feet in. Looked like a true receiver on that play. That was outstanding.
It sounded great at U.S. Bank Stadium. Let's take a listen.
Ryan, play action, rolls out to the right. Hunter's all over him, throws back right to the end zone. Intercepted Anthony Harris. 2 picks today for Anthony Harris and a fumble recovery. And Zimmer's defense says no to Atlanta's offense again.
The thing I hear over and over again is our crowd from yesterday. I mean, that was outstanding. And no surprise, playing at U.S. Bank with that crowd and the way they show out. But what is it like as a defensive player at home communicating? When it comes to substitutions, the huddle calls, whoever's making the call, Eric, whoever, getting guys lined up, hand signaling to each other. Was it hard? I mean, for the first time in a while, you've had to play with some serious noise.
It's tough. It's tough. It's a lot of energy in that stadium. The block punt, the turnovers, the sacks. There's a lot going on, the third down with the skull chant and different things like that. So going into the game, we have to, everybody has to know and see everything very similar. And then there has to be secondary communication. So you see guys running down to the linebackers, running over to the corners, hand signaling and the different communication tools that we try to use.
Anthony, did the defensive line made Matt Ryan uncomfortable, made him get little happy feet from the get-go. Could you sense that early on?
Yeah, I think, Barr opened it up, with the sack right away. So it kind of set the tone that, we were going to, come after him a bit when the opportunity was there. But all day those guys were relentless up front. They got a number of sacks, a number of hurries. We look at plays, and from the secondary standpoint, you see the quarterback throwing off his back foot, and, things like that are going to work in your favor.
Yeah, there were some unscouted looks. We had been seeing some wrinkles that Coach Zimmer, he's got some veteran players in that defense, so we can start to explore some different things. And we had been seeing them in practice, and we knew the first couple games this year, they're going to be able to surprise our opponents with some looks. And that first play of the game, that sack, was definitely an unscouted look for Atlanta.
It was a wow factor. And as your maturation process continues, Anthony, what's it like to play alongside someone like Harrison Smith, to kind of as a calming influence on you during your career?
Yeah, it's been fun. I've watched him for a number of years, gotten the opportunity to get some meaningful snaps with him in there. And it's been a lot of building, a lot of chemistry trying to develop. He's a very smart guy, very intelligent, been in the scheme a very long time. So first starting out, he's disguising and doing some things, and he's confusing me, and I know the huddle call. So he does that. But, we've settled in, and the more we've played with each other, we've been able to play around with the different disguises and things like that.
And we'll be right back with more from Vikings starting safety Anthony Harris right here on Under Center with Kirk Cousins. Welcome back to Under Center with Kirk Cousins, Mark Rosen alongside the quarterback, and Anthony Harris, the safety. And Kirk, you guys have kind of a synergy yourself from your backgrounds.
Yeah, when I first met Ant, I was asking him where he's from, and he said Richmond, Virginia. And I said, well, I spent a lot of time in Richmond, Virginia, because that's where training camp was for the Redskins for most of my years there. So we kind of joked about some of the same spots. And then on an off day during training camp, I went to Charlottesville one time to just check out the area. Beautiful place. That's where he went to college at UVA, so I was asking him about that as well. So, yeah, tell us a little bit about your journey being undrafted, the challenge that is for a player, and just kind of what has taken you from UVA to now where you are as a fourth-year player starting in the NFL?
Yeah, my journey has been a bit up and down. Coming out of high school, decently recruited guy, going to UVA, thinking just work, carve myself out a nice role, end up being a 3-year starter. Had a big year my junior year, had a lot of interceptions, made some pretty good plays, solid senior year, but I came out hurt, went undrafted. So from there, it was just about, getting my body back, allow my body to catch back up with my mental aspect, my mental tools. So starting off practice squad, I just try to stay prepared. And I'm thinking, whenever the opportunity is given to go out there, I'm just going to show and prove, I'm still that same player from my earlier years who had really good ability.
Yeah.
So when the opportunities were given in different spots and I played in, I tried to go out there and execute at a high level and show that I can play in this league.
Yeah, these NFL careers are truly a marathon, not a sprint.
Yep.
And you have to just stay the course. And I really believe that tough times don't last, tough people do.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have a tough break with an injury that sets you back, doesn't give you the entrance into the NFL like you want, if you just keep working and stay tough, good things happen. And I think your story shows that. And I have a kindred spirit with you because I didn't get to play a lot until my fourth year. And that was when it was, hey, you're the guy, let's see what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I've never looked back. And I was so grateful for that opportunity. And here you are in your fourth year getting that opportunity. And I expect no different. I expect you to take off and continue to do what you've done because you've shown it in practice. You've shown it all last year when you played so much. So I'm thrilled for your future here, hopefully, and excited to see what's up ahead. But a little bit off the field, because I think you're a really sharp guy and got a lot of cool stuff going on. Your cryotherapy business, I wanted to hear more about that because I'm a guy who loves to hear what guys are doing off the field with business interests and opportunities that come their way and pick their brains. And there is going to be a life after football. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I've been in it for 2 years now. Cryo RVA, based out of Richmond, Virginia, my hometown. So off-season training, it became part of my regimen. Going in there, hopping in the cryo machine, using the Normatec. And then I decided to go in with the partnership and become one of the partners. So since then, we have a boutique front where we have a full cryo body chamber. We have a localizer machine, so if somebody wants to do a specific area, whether it's an elbow or a shoulder, we can do that. But we also offer a couple other services as well as facials, which is really popular for the women. And then just this past year, we decided to branch off and go with the mobile unit.
Wow.
So we've got a trailer built out, a cryo chamber in there, and we're offering Normatec. And the plan is to, get some contracts with, some schools and pop out to the different events, whether it's marathons or fitness events, and just try to provide service for the people who want to use it.
So, Anthony, it sounds like there's a learning curve for the public to educate themselves about how they will benefit from this. And we're just talking about the weekend athlete. Or
there's a lot of those out there.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of different services, and there's a lot of ways it can help you. Sometimes when you look at things like that, you think it's specifically for that really hard athletes who's doing a lot of training. But we get a number of different people coming in. We also have the athletes and the people who are heavy into fitness. But there's also people who want to come in and they try it for weight loss because it drops your body temperature down so low. Your body has to burn calories to heat itself back up. But we've had people who come in with diabetes, with bad blood circulation, who's hopped in the machines. And it's helped with the circulation in different areas that they suffer from there.
That's fascinating. Now, are you spending most of your offseason back in Richmond, or are you staying here in Minnesota, back and forth? How have you kind of handled that offseason rhythm?
I usually try to get out of here, go down to Florida.
There you go. Get some warm weather.
Yep, get some warm weather.
Can't fault you for that.
So I usually get out of here, get some warm weather. Then I'll pop back to Virginia, see my family.
Okay.
They don't travel much, so I spend a good time there and training in the off-season.
This is a loaded question. I know the answer, but I'll let you explain it. Are you a cat or a dog person?
I'm an animal person, but I own 2 cats. I own
Two cats.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. What kind are they? A specific
I have
breed?
a Siamese and I have a tabby.
Okay.
Yeah, so I always wanted a pet. Sometimes it's getting kind of lonely up here, in the cold weather you're in. I wanted a dog, but I figured with the schedule and me being by myself might not be the best decision.
Cats are lower maintenance.
Yeah, so I've gotten a recommendation from friends who own cats that cats might be a little bit easier. And then I did an event with the Vikings at the animal shelter. So I went in, checked out the pets, and they asked me if I wanted to adopt. And I said, I don't know about a dog. So then I looked at cats and ended up coming home with 2.
Nice.
That's awesome. Now, when UVA came to the U.S. Bank to play in the Final Four, were you at the games? Did you go? Because I went for Michigan State, and it was a quick exit for the Spartans. Not so much for UVA. What was your experience like?
I was really excited. They've had opportunity to get in the tournament, make some decent runs, but unfortunately the Spartans had the numbers for a few years, and they were always able to get knocked off.
We did have some good battles.
Yep. So I was actually down in Tulum on vacation, and I was saying, if they make it, I'm gonna go. So
Wow.
I had to catch an early flight back. Went to the game, saw a lot of friends, a lot of familiar faces. It was great to see them on the floor, in U.S. Bank, playing the way they did and to be able to pull off a win. It was great.
Play little hoops yourself in your day?
Yeah, high school.
Yeah?
I played travel basketball as well. Thought for a second I might go to college for
There
basketball.
you go.
But
One of those guys who has
Yeah.
options.
yeah,
Would have been nice, right, Mark?
Oh, my goodness.
I was no Cal Rudolph. North Carolina.
Yeah,
offer
he
type
had all
guy,
the
but,
offers. Yeah.
I had a good number of schools that looked at me, but football was my passion, and I knew that's something I wanted to continue.
Now another sport he's pretty good at is spike ball.
What the heck is that?
Talk about spike ball in the locker room. This picked up just this training camp. We weren't even doing it in OTAs, were we?
No. I got a gift, from my agency, stuff to get you going for camp, and the spike ball set was in there. So, we got to find some time to kill, wait some way to kill the time during camp, and I decided to pull it out. And for a while, guys were a little bit hesitant, didn't really know the rules. But after guys started playing a little bit and guys started watching on, it became a pretty cool thing to do in our spare time.
I got to bring you back to my hometown on Lake Michigan where there's a sandy beach. We play spike ball on the beach, and that's where it's really fun because guys are diving, and it's like beach volleyball. So we'll have to do that someday.
Yeah.
One last football question before we let you get out of here. You're going from Matty Ryan to Aaron Rodgers. Sunday at Lambeau Field. Your thoughts about getting ready for that one?
Yeah, he's obviously one of the best in the game. They've got some new wrinkles on offense, so we got to get back on the film. It's not necessarily our usual from what we've seen from him in the past, but pretty much break down, see what they'll have for carryover from in the past and what they're doing now offensively, and come up with a good game plan to slow them down.
Mike Zimmer always says, I like the way this team works. Is that the proper word to use?
Yeah, that's all it's about. Working, putting in the time, putting in the effort, putting in the preparation. We know, we believe we have the talent, and then it's just about putting in the preparation and going out there and executing.
Yeah, the great teams in this league do the little things better than everyone else. Everybody has talented players. We all have the same salary cap, so everybody's bringing in good players. But the teams that don't beat themselves, that are on the details, that have talked through everything over and over again and are just really over-prepared, those are the teams that find a way at the end to win games, and we're trying to be that team in the way we work every day.
Anthony Harris, thanks so much for spending some time with us.
Thanks for coming on,
Sunday at
Ann.
Lambeau Field,
I
man.
appreciate it.
All right, we'll be right back with more with Kirk Cousins right after this.